All right. Well, I guess it's better late than never to start the live video today. I want to thank everybody for joining. I'm going to wait a few minutes to get people going here. And if you're on, go ahead and comment. Let me know you're here. Looks like Justin's watching. Hey, Justin. But yeah, so really, the reason behind this video is to continue our talk on teamwork. And it's funny, working in the business coaching world. Hey, Ryan, how you doing, man? I ask my clients to get out of their comfort zone a lot. And I started questioning myself, what am I doing to get out of my comfort zone? And quickly realized that I needed to go live. I haven't gone live in a long time. It's something that makes me uncomfortable. And so here I am going live, trying to figure out all the things. It's been a while. So Justin was going to join me, but we had some technical issues here. So he's actually on and going to be making some comments as we go through talking about teamwork. And so I'm just going to give another minute for some people to jump on. But if y'all have any questions and you're watching, be sure to type them in here and I'll answer them for you as we go through. So earlier this week, I was talking a lot. I had a video talking about some of the benefits, some signs that we're seeing great teamwork in our workplace, and some of the signs that we're seeing poor teamwork in our workplace. And some of those signs were, so some of the good things we were seeing, if you're seeing great communication, that's a plus. If you're seeing your team focus on their goals and their results, that's a plus. If they have clarity on what's expected of them in writing, that's also a sign of great teamwork. Having everybody contributing. Hey, Chris, what's up, man? Good to see you. That's also great. And, some of the things that we see whenever teamwork is failing is obviously poor communication. We see a culture where really creativity has plummeted. And a lot of times you experience high turnover. My own experience in the trades has been that, leading and running a business for 20 years. Justin says he can hear me loud and clear. Awesome. Running a business for 20 years, had me tons of ups and downs. And I personally led for a lot of years with bad teamwork. And I went through the case of losing team members rapidly and having high turnover. And so I realized that first it started with the leadership and what I was doing and really leading by example. So today I wanted to talk about a few different points, and I see Joe and Phil are on here too watching, so appreciate it, guys. Y'all be sure to comment if you got any questions on what's going on, but I wanted to carry on the conversation of teamwork. And in your business, specifically in the home service world, what can we do to start to not only stimulate the teamwork throughout the company, but also just not only getting it going, but encouraging it? One cool thing about in my home service business is I hired an amazing service manager there, and he really showed me the balance that it takes in leadership to not only be working in the office and on the business, but also to balance out with some time working out in the field and turning wrenches with guys and showing them that you're willing to do anything to be on that team. And that's really where you start to see your teamwork start to excel. It's things like people going out of their way to help somebody there in the office, or maybe staying late to work on a project even though they're not getting paid for it. That's when you have amazing teamwork. But ultimately it all starts with the leader. And so today I want to talk about a few different things that you can start doing in your business to really start excelling and preaching and moving your teamwork forward. And the first thing is really communication. What are you doing as the owner, as a leader of your company to communicate? And I know Justin was going to be on here with us and we had some technical difficulties. So Justin, chime in anytime you have some ideas. I know we were going to talk about some position agreements. But communication starts from the top down. And so the first thing is not just having an open door policy. I think really communication starts with your vision and what are you wanting to accomplish in your business. Being able to share that, it said that you must share that 7 times before somebody actually picks it up. So I encourage you as a leader to share a vision. But the next thing there is to be able to give clarity to what people or what's expected of your team. A lot of companies that I work with, I hear that the most is the team members just don't know what's expected from the boss. The direction's inconsistent. It always seems like I'm doing a good job, I'm not doing a good job. So the first thing I'd focus on to start to create great teamwork in your company is not only sharing your vision, but also to establish some kind of position agreements and some kind of scoring system to be able to tell your team that they are doing a good job. And consistently be meeting with them to show them that. One thing I really enjoy about communication and doing one-on-ones with team members is I like to see a twice a month meeting, and one where you're just meeting and talking about relationship, and you're talking about their dreams and their goals and their family. Hey Andrew, hey Darren. And the second one being the actual scoring session. And it looks like Justin hopped in here and said team member commitments are about having your team members commit to others on what they're accountable for. And that's completely true. I mean, there's times where when you don't have team member commitments, people are constantly arguing because they don't know who's responsible for what, and they keep getting chewed out, but they think it's so-and-so's responsibility. We've all been there. We know how it is. So I would focus on your vision. I would focus on some kind of team member commitments, or I call them position agreements. But the next step is to be able to score your team and be able to start building that one-on-one relationship with your team. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, no matter how much money you're paying anybody, it's, do you feel appreciated? And so if you're out there and you're running a business, you need to be figuring out how are you letting your team know that they are appreciated. And sometimes that's just small acts of encouragement or small pieces of encouragement throughout the day to let them know they're doing a good job. So it looks like Justin says it's easier to manage expectations when they are clear. And that's correct, Justin, because what we think is clear in our head, like, wow, I told this person to do this like 50 times, is not quite clear unless it's in writing and it's agreed upon. Hey, Dwayne, how you doing, man? It's good to see you. So you're building teamwork, you're sharing your vision, you have some position agreements in place, you're scoring your team, you're building relationships. I think the next thing you really need to do is to have some kind of team building events off-site that require people to come be involved and just really have a good time, because at the end of the day, we're there to work hard, but we also want to play and have a good time. So hey Dad, how you doing? I see my Sam on there. So like at S&D Plumbing, one thing we do every year is we take our team fishing, and that's, to this day, it's got to be one of the funnest things we do. Taking the team camping or just going out to dinner. Those are ways that you can encourage your team and you can start to build that teamwork outside the workplace. But as you're building these tools, I really want to encourage you is to realize that as you establish position agreements and you're scoring your team and ultimately what you're creating is empowerment and whatever role that team member is in, one of the quickest ways you can knock that down is to micromanage your team. So I don't know. There's so many companies out there where people are micromanaging and consistently building people up just to knock them down and overstep their bounds. And a lot of things I see in companies that are scaling is that we get an accountability chart in place so we know, who this person's reporting to. And let's just say we have middle management in place, and the owner continues to go around his middle manager and tell the employees what to do without consulting with that management or with that leadership. And what that does is it says, hey, I'm willing to trust you and I'm willing to give you a position agreement, but I'm not really willing to trust you that much. I'm going to go ahead and go around and undermine your leadership. So, hey Mario, how you doing, man? As you're building your company and you're establishing these tools and you want to build this atmosphere of teamwork, I encourage you to stick to your chain of command. That's one of the most important things to do. Rewarding excellent teamwork is definitely a great point. Looks like Justin says, no one likes to be micromanaged. That's very true. Being able to actually publicly reward people for teamwork. That's one thing I loved at S&D Plumbing is once we established our core values and we were able to see, teamwork is one of our core values, and we were able to see actual events going on in the field or in the office where a team member was actually doing an act that was directly related to that core value. We started sending out these emails, and we would say, hey, shout out to so-and-so for meeting this teamwork core value. They stayed late, stopped by a job, and helped somebody, remove and replace a water heater on their own time. And so we were really giving shout outs to the team. So if we had 40 team members there, everybody was seeing and everybody wanted to be a part of that. It started to create momentum in that culture. So that's a great way that you can really incorporate your core values into your teamwork and really start to create that traction. Justin said, if you don't let your employees do their jobs, then you have a paid audience. And Mario gave a thumbs up. That is true. The cool thing that is leadership is influence. And when you have the proper clear systems in place, like position agreements and scorecards, they actually do the managing for you. It keeps it black and white and allows you to really hold people accountable to what you're wanting to achieve in your business. And so just continue thinking about ways that you can create teamwork. And if anybody has any ideas other than what I'm talking about, comment in the box. Let me know. If you have any questions on what I'm talking about, be sure to hop in there and let me know. But other ways that you can establish great communication. For a long time, email was always our communication of choice. And you've heard it said, hey, I'm just a slave to my email. Well, I knew there had to be a better way out there. And so really I started researching some other apps that you can use in your company. And one that I found with communication, what's up, Mike? How you doing, man? Is Trello. And if you don't know anything about Trello, you got to check it out. It's a free app, and it can be it can literally become your entire internal communication and what's going on in your business. Anything from hosting meetings and having set agendas to having to-do lists where you can assign people and put due dates in there. It's a really powerful tool, and it allows to keep everything on record that's being communicated internally real time anywhere you have internet, and it takes that pressure off your email because nobody likes juggling through 1,000 emails. Justin says Trello is amazing. I do love Trello. So if anybody else has anything out there that they're using that is a communication app in their business, I'd love to hear. It's like Michael saying hi, great info. Heck yeah, man. If y'all have any questions, hit me up. But this is literally, I started this video talking about my comfort zone, and I'm very nervous and a little uncomfortable here, though I look pretty relaxed. That's what life's about, is getting out of our comfort zone and sharing information that hopefully can add some value. What's up, Dylan? How you doing, man? So, last but not least, when it comes to great teamwork, obviously I talked about leading by example. And that really comes down to going out of your way, getting out of your comfort zone to show people that, hey, I'm willing to work late. I'm willing to serve in areas that maybe are below my pay grade. Sometimes I would encourage people, or I would do it myself, is like, hey, why, if you have a pile of dishes in the break room, even if you own the company, why are you any better than anybody else that you can't go in there and just take a little break from work and show people that we're all a part of this culture, we're all a part of this teamwork we're building, and nobody's too good to do any job. Because at the end of the day, though we have our detailed positions and we have our goals and we know what's going on, really we have to be there to cover for each other. And that's the kind of culture that you want. You don't want that culture of, oh, that's not my job. I'm not going to do that. That's not my job. So hopefully this little live video helped y'all out today. I wanted to do this once a week just to add some value and get some people in here that can be talking. Looks like Kristen's hopping in here. What's up, Kristen? She says, having people who actually want to be on the team helps too. That's true. That was really where I was going next. And Justin said lead from the front is when you have an established set of core values, that's the parameter and that's the accountability in your business really of who you're hiring and who you're keeping employed. Your culture is only as good as your lowest performing team member. And so I think that, it's like Michael agrees with Kristen, I think that you have to have a set of core values in place, and you have to hold yourself and your team accountable to that. And so when it comes to leading by example, is you have to be following those core values, and you have to really be, living those, because at the end of the day, when somebody comes into my office and wants to work for me, I'm not only talking about the position, but I'm ultimately talking about my team. But that really leads with my vision. What is my vision? What is my mission? What is my core values? Because at the end of the day, money is a small part of why people want to work for you. When you have a great team and you have a great culture, people come knocking on your door, and you realize that at the end of the day, people really just want to feel appreciated. Justin said, great info. Thanks, Justin. At the end of the day, you really just want to feel appreciated, and that's it. So if you're not taking those times to show your team the appreciation, and it's always about the numbers, and it's always about you're not doing this good enough, or you're not doing that good enough. When you start having people leave you and they say, oh, I'm leaving for a higher paying job, that may be the case, but a lot of times that's just an excuse to say, hey, I'm quitting the boss because I never feel appreciated here. And so I encourage you to start creating a culture of teamwork, and do that through small acts of kindness. Be clear about what's expected. And if y'all need anything from me, comment in the box, go to builtforthetrades.com and reach out to me, or just hit me up on social media. I really appreciate everybody watching this video today. And thanks a lot for watching. Have a great day.